emerged onto what will be a very slippery surface, and that will add something to the game as well.
Yeah, I mean, the zip and the zest about it will definitely suit, I think, Reggie Lebris' side. They pop the ball around very well. They'll be looking about how Mayenda plays off Isidore, and they'll be looking to get the ball wide through Oshish and then giving it to Patrick Roberts. Both of them come up with bits of magic, no doubt.
Both teams are aiming for back-to-back wins. Portsmouth haven't managed to do that this season.
And good afternoon, the visitors from Portsmouth. Let's take a look at our lads in red and white line-up this afternoon. In goal, number 1, Anthony Patterson. Number 4, the captain.
Sunderland there unchanged as they defend their unbeaten home record. Aji Elise keeps his place in the 11 with Dennis Sirkin on the bench once again. Mayenda and Isidore will be the goal-scoring threat for Sunderland, and we wait to see if they line up as a front two as they did against Sheffield United, or will Mayenda play as part of a 5-man midfield.
Number 22, Adil Al-Shish. Number 26, Chris Nether.
John Massinio, he sticks with his winning 11 after putting 4 past Swansea. Colby Bishop leads the line, supported by skill and pace from behind in Paddy Lane, Callum Lang and Josh Murphy. Rob Atkinson, he's on the bench after joining from Bristol City on Friday. He's on loan for the rest of the season.
Zach Johnson, number 47, Trey Ogunsui, and number 50, Harrison Jones. The referee this afternoon is
Reggie Lebris signed a 3-year deal in June. He's made a fantastic start as the Sunderland manager.
And then we're talking about this man, Joby Bellingham, 11 goals in 66 appearances. Well, just watching him in the warm-up, how he checks his shoulder very much like his brother, lovely feet, makes dynamic runs into the box, and people track them, but he's that much of a good athlete. Eventually he runs off the back of people, and what a future ahead. 11 goals at 9. There's Callum Lang. Fans loved him at Wigan. He's come here, he's been very impressive, lots of goals, bit of a maverick, plays off the shoulder, get a good partnership with Bishop, and if you think about Murphy, but Callum Lang is so important to this Pompey side. Certainly one to watch today.
Yeah, he's got 9 goals this season in the Championship, got 4 against Coventry City, so he'll be a real threat for the Sunderland defence here.
He will be indeed, and that man there, Patterson, is doing lots of things right.
Your referee today, Thomas Bramall, and he's about to get the game underway, and Portsmouth in their away strip attacking from right to left towards their supporters high up in tier 3 of the Stadium of Light, and they're attacking the goal where their supporters are watching. Sky Bet Championship were underway on this Sunday afternoon. Bitterly cold afternoon right across the country, and Roberts with his gloves on finds Mayenda. 3 Sunderland players inside the penalty area. It's well dealt with by Ogilvie.
Yeah, good defending. Certainly worrying signs. You can't give the ball away cheaply, something that I'm sure John Massinio will be talking about to that midfield, if you like, 5. Potts and Dazelle got to hold on to the ball when you're up the pitch. Don't give it away cheaply.
Sunderland, whatever the result today, they'll stay in 4th, chasing Sheffield United, Burnley and Leeds, who are currently top of the table. Portsmouth, if they win, they'll leapfrog Luton into 20th, lose by 2 or more goals, and they slip into the bottom 3. And if they manage to eke out a point, they remain in 21st. 1 solitary victory on their travels this season. Can they make it 2? And then can they make it back-to-back wins for the first time this campaign? Won the League One title last season. It's been a 12-year absence for Portsmouth from the Championship, and they now start their second half of the season.
A little bit of hope there, good little downward bit header from Bishop. Looked like there was contact on the arm. Referee was having none of it. Just a little bit worrying there for early on. Neil just giving away a sloppy pass that could have led to something. I think what Pompey need to do very well is when they do turn the ball over in and around Sunderland's box, they need to be very clinical, get the ball out wide to Murphy, get the ball out wide to Paddy Lane or into Callum Lang.
Sunderland will be patient. Portsmouth are pressing them. They do play a mixture of football when they're away from Fratton Park. They do press, and sometimes they sit in a low block and use their counter-attacking pace of Josh Murphy. At the moment, they are pressing Sunderland. Sunderland playing through the thirds. This is Bellingham. Al-Shish.
Not quite the ball in he wanted.
Reggie Lebris, he's doing a fine job, isn't he, Ian?
Fine job. What I liked about him, come on his own. You know, he's embraced the club and the people that are there that understand it, but bring his own style, which is very important.
And John Massinio, he's admitted his side have to start picking up points away from Fratton Park, saying that is essential.
It is essential, but he's done a magnificent job. Incredible, you know, from his time in there, almost unfathomable what he did last year. But my view is, you know, I think they're just showing signs of understanding what this relentless championship is like. You know, they're getting to grips with it.
First managerial job and winning the League One title.
Well,
not a bad start.
No, it's an amazing start, and he had a bit of experience at wherever if you like, and you know, good fella, you know, Stevenage and Preston, but you know, but Burton and Oxford. Still, to manage a club the size of Portsmouth and do what he's done in this shorter time is quite incredible. He gives them something different than they didn't have with Bishop up front. Really, is a threat and a real handful. On the contrast, what I do find for Portsmouth, what they need to be aware of, you know, Marlon Pack filling in there really, isn't he? As a centre half, and it's done very well. But you know, Maenda and Isidore, they're very clever with their movement. If one drops in or they play two up, you have to be very careful.
Dazal stops Roberts, so it's a free kick for Sunderland.
I actually thought he got ahead of him there. I thought he got, if you watch this, I think Dazal gets ahead of Roberts here. I think it's a foul the other way.
Bellingham and Mepham join the attack for their height and ability in the air. Al-Shish over this set piece.
Don't look past Lacey. He's a unit as well.
It's rather wasted. This will be a goal kick to Portsmouth.
Yeah, just the timing of the sort of delivery. The delivery was perfectly fine, but it's just a bit early. Because as that Portsmouth held a really good high line, they had to step back once, and he delivered them when he should have been as the players move. I mean, we see now with these set-piece coaches how much, you know, I think you have to put great store on it. Oh, my word.
Yeah, heavy touch by Schmidt. And it was Isidore who's closing down. This is Roberts. And Roberts wasn't far away. I think he sliced. It was probably meant to be a cross. He sliced his effort. Ended up being an effort on goal, but not really troubling Nicholas Schmidt. But Schmidt made the troubles for himself.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. It's a really poor. That's the poor come, but it gets pressed. Really, it's very fortunate to get away with it. In the end, it comes to Roberts. I think Roberts is trying to cross it. Don't think he's trying to shoot. And he just gets, as you say, slices it badly. You know, that's a really good area they're in. And expect him to come up with much better than that. Dink to the back post would be certainly more favourable.
Yeah, 16th start. The Portsmouth goalkeeper, signed from the Austrian Bundesliga in the summer. You don't want that when you're away from home, do you, Ian? And your record's not great as well.
No, and also you'll think that the next time they'll let them have a one more, and then they'll really press at the same level like they did last time. It's, you know, my view is I do think if that's not strength of yours, don't do it.
This is Mayenda. He's got options to his left. Isidore's onside, and Isidore scores!
I've got to say, I thought this game was a little bit open. Isidore's run's brilliant, but the position of the goalkeeper, why is he standing that far out? He doesn't need to be there. He's got to stay within the post and make him beat him. In the end, all he does is knock it past him because he's that far out. You know, he must be nearly on the penalty spot. Really far too far. Defenders chasing him, makes it very, very... but good finish.
Rapid counter-attack. Mayenda picked it up. He had options to his left. Timed it perfectly for Isidore. And he's a striker full of confidence. And he showed that with an emphatic finish.
Well, it's interesting. If you think about Pack's trying to play offside, he should go with the runner. Pack doesn't go with the runner. And Zach Swanson is tracking him and plays him onside. So really good run from the scene, but the position of the goalkeeper just makes up his mind, and it's a really tidy slot finish, but he really should stay at least 5-6 yards deeper and try and make the save.
So an early goal here at the Stadium of Light, and Sunderland are in front.
One thing you have to say is you don't want to give them Sunderland a goal start Stadium of Light with the attacking potential they have and the fluidity in which they play with. It's really far too easy to get through on goal. Ball up to Mayenda, turns, runs 10-20 yards, just feeds one ball through. Marlon Pack just has got to drop off. Just go with the runner for me. And they, you know, I'm not blaming Marlon Pack because he's not natural centre-half, but he has got to go with the runner.
Portsmouth's last 3 away trips, lost to Bristol City. They were 3-0 down at half-time, ended up being 3-0 after the 90. Watford was close. It was the 95th minute winner at Vicarage Road which separated the sides, losing to Watford by 2-1, and then away at Derby 3-0 once again at half-time before they lost by 4-0.
Yeah, and you can't ship 9 goals in 3 away games and expect to win or expect to even get a point. So my view is, in some ways, his hands are tied, Mousinho, with having to play Pack there. But my view is, hence the signing of Atkinson. Maybe this, you couldn't really change the team. I suggest going forward, it'll be Marlon Pack, maybe in midfield, and Atkinson in the back 4. But I've got to say, back to the keeper, it's a really poor decision from Schmidt. He doesn't need to come there. He's got to make him beat him. In the end, he's on rushing. It's just a slip past him.
Yeah, he's had a scary opening 10 minutes, the Portsmouth goalkeeper. Chance now to get back on level terms. It's Murphy. And that was rather wide. Did have a moment where he quite possibly could have got his shot off, hesitated, tried to cut back in field.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a silly, because he gets pressed by Roberts. He's got to go there. I actually think he's got himself a decent opportunity to bend it, at least to get it on target. He just goes a bit wild and for a bit too much power on it. But it's been a fairly comfortable start for Sunderland.
And this is Roberts taking on Ogilvie. Ogilvie, the only Portsmouth player who's been ever present in the team. Defends well, helped out by Murphy. Now this is Pack, the captain. Ogilvie sends it forward. That was brave from O'Nien. Unconventional, because Bishop was right behind him.
He is. If Kobe Bishop had been facing the right way, he may have stuck out a leg and controlled that. Don't know, couldn't have seen if he'd been onside, but certainly I do think part of what the ideal way of playing is trying to get the ball up to Bishop, who's very good at holding the ball up.
Elise on the overlap. Well defended by Swanson. It is to be a corner.
I thought it might have been possibly, that may have been the last touch off Elise, but he looks a powerful lad, Elise, running forward, holds his place in the side this week, and maybe thinks Sirkin was going to come back in.
Came from the West Ham Academy, as you well know, Ian.
Yeah, indeed. Big, powerful boy. Spent a bit of time out at Accrington Stanley in Cambridge.
Hugh makes a run into the near post. It's defended well by Bishop.
I'll have to say that's 2 set pieces from 2 that haven't really been on the money.
Neil gives it away. This is Potts, emerges with the ball, strides forward into space.
Good ball.
To Bishop. Defended well by Neil. And Patterson quickly closed down by Murphy. And playing out of the back, they've taken that to the extreme.
Well, I was wondering how relaxed is Patterson here. Really is. I mean, he's that relaxed. I think when he's passing it out there, you think it's going to go to a player. He actually passed it out of touch. So laid back here. Look, relaxed, and he just passed it to no one.
Yeah, Lane and Murphy were emerging.
Oh.
Neil with the clearance, helped forward by Mayenda. Murphy blocked by Hume.
Just senses in the early part of this game that, like most defences, when Kobe Bishop's on his game, not many people can deal with him. He's a handful. He's won some headers there, just a little flick on there, really into a dangerous area. There's a corner he gets again. He does transform this team, and I think the pick up in form is partly because he's back from his investigations into his heart. It's surgery, open heart surgery, which is certainly worrying.
Yeah, he had heart surgery in the summer, returned in November, and 3 goals since, 1 from the penalty spot against Preston. Freddie Potts on loan from West Ham.
Good ball.
Patterson elects to punch, falls to Pack, comes off the Sunderland player.
Yeah, good ball in from Freddie Potts. Used to play with his dad, so. It's been a decent little response from Portsmouth. They, picked it up and started to dominate possession. I mean, I think he's asking a lot for that to be a penalty.
Mayenda tried to break away once again. Ogilvie goes back to his goalkeeper, Schmidt.
Bit unlucky again. Good run from Murphy. Out to in.
Possible handball claim from Portsmouth, and especially their manager John Massinio, Ian.
Yeah, and Callum Lang does well to adjust his feet. I mean, I don't think that can be a penalty in the slightest. He turns his back.
Potts and Lang.
I just look at Lang, Lane, Murphy and Bishop, and I think they can cause Sunderland, and I think they have caused Sunderland problems. I mean, this has been a good little spell for the last 5 minutes. It just worries me in some ways the openness of the game. Looks like Sunderland could go into their forwards quite easily, and that's before we start seeing Joby Bellingham getting on them runs, lung-busting runs. So again, very relaxed with his feet. Patterson looks very calm.
Free kick for Portsmouth.
Yeah, Freddie Potts bought that, I think. Knew he was going to play a giveaway, but Neil brings him down. Bit soft, I think.
Portsmouth beat Swansea on New Year's Day at home by 4-0 with 4 different goal scorers. They need to find a way back into this game. Tough opening 10 minutes Slight error from their goalkeeper, Nicholas Schmidt, and then a positioning error, allowing Isidore through.
Yeah, indeed. Just wondering there, I mean, it's a set piece that they've pinged it out to Paddy Lane, who's not the biggest lad, against Elise, who's 6'4" and absolute unit of a player. So I'm not sure that idea that he's going to beat him in the air is ever going to work. Oh, sloppy play, horrible delivery.
Towler this time. Nervous from Portsmouth, especially from the back.
Isn't it amazing? You think about this 5-game unbeaten run, 14 goals scored for Portsmouth at home, and yet you come away, and the fragility of this mindset and how you change it around, it's fascinating for me, and that's something I'm sure that's keeping John Messina awake at night, how you change that mentality, because they've been on this brilliant run at home, and now they've just got to try and, if they were to come here and get a draw, it'd be amazing from this situation they're in now, given the scoring power of Sunderland. But just defensive, just exactly like this, they give the ball away far too easy in the wrong area.
Yeah, back-to-back 4 goals scored at home against Coventry and Swansea, and they can't buy a win on their travels. This is Bellingham and Aushish and Roberts, and it's cleared away by Towler.
Well, I've got to say,
that's a handball, not noticed by the referee, but noticed by Ian Dowie.
What a ball in from Ashish, I've got to say, put a magnificent ball in. I've got to say, Roberts, he's not scoring. If that lad lets it go, I think it was one of the centre halves, Towler, it would have gone past the post, but poor contact, hit his heel, I think. It's a brilliant ball in. Far too easy. I mean, that's like his brother, brilliantly done from Bellingham. Great, it's a wonderful ball, and Roberts was going past the post. Yeah. It was close. It did come behind him actually a little bit in the end. He adjusted his feet quite well, so I'm probably doing him a disservice, but if anywhere on target, it's in.
It's all alone as well, Patrick Roberts. And now this is Isidore, the goal scorer. Mayenda, nice first touch.
You can see there's a fragility about the way they defend. Every time that ball gets played forward, something's happening. That lucky just to get the right bounce of the ball there. If Mayenda had a better touch.
Portsmouth player now, quite sure who it is currently, just holding his face. It's Callum Lang. This is the incident, Lang and Elise.
I think it's a foul. Yeah. I think it's a foul. I've got to say, it's exactly like, definitely a foul. Potts was given a foul when Neil fouled. It's actually a little bit more. Got away with that one. I think there might be a yellow card.
Taking on some information from their manager, John Messina.
Yeah, 3 of the back 4 there. It's all well and good saying how you're going to cope with teams in a structure, in a defensive system. When you get there in the movement, you've got Roberts and Oshish one side, and then you've got Isidore and Mayenda and Joe Bellingham making runs. It's a whole different thing, when you're facing it.
He'll be pleased with the opening 20 minutes. Has a very calm presence about him, both pre and post-match, and I think that is resulting onto the pitch.
Yeah, I think it is. I think a calmness. Back in the day, I've been with managers, some very quiet, some who shout and roar, and it didn't really matter. And I just think if you're a ranter and a raver these days, I think that it brings tension to your teams playing with. That's why I mean, nothing better than Arnie Slot. How laid back's he?
Callum Lang still off the pitch. You could see his grimace, just holding his shoulder.
I think it's a yellow card. I'll stick by that. I think there's a little bit of edge to it, and to be fair, Elise, he's left a bit on him, in my opinion. And you don't want to be left a bit on by that size of that man.
You don't. You don't. Young man as well, 23 years of age.
I wouldn't have liked to be in West Ham and been in training with him being knocked about.
You would have held your own, I'm sure, Ian.
So he's a big unit.
You see his trailing arm here, just looking back at it, Ian. See his trailing arm.
Look, watch. It's not so much, it's just the manner in which he rolls into him and sort of blocks him across the face with one arm, but it's the manner in which he clouts him with his sort of whole body, if you like.
Roberts very calmly into Bellingham.
It's actually a bit better, the press here,
No shot on target as of yet for Portsmouth, Ian, and possession, Sunderland dominating.
Yeah, but also look at the touches in opposition box. That's why I think Pompey have had a good little 5 or 6 minutes. 5-4. Of course, the one that matters is the goal that's given away. It's really, I mean, between Marlon Pack and the keeper, neither cover themselves in glory. But I just think there is a worry for me if they get slick, and I've seen Sunderland 3 or 4 times this year be very, very slick in offensive areas. They could cut through this Portsmouth sort of, because they're not really dropping off. They're trying to keep a high line. I think that's the right way to do it, so they can get the press on. When they get slick and they pop it about, it's very difficult to stop this Sunderland side. As many teams that come here try to do, it's just no one's done it.
And they ran out winners by 3-1 when they met in August at Fratton Park. And at the moment, even though it's a slender 1-goal lead, they look comfortable. Al-Shish. Isadora and Mayenda in the penalty area. Roberts with a neat touch to Bellingham. Bellingham trying to carve out some room. Roberts. Al-Shish being closed down by Freddie Potts. This is Patrick Roberts, and now Adil Al-Shish again. Towler has to get a firm header away. At least that was sent back with some interest.
It was. Again, really good, decent ball in. I think Roberts is very tricky out there. He drops it one way and pops the ball to Al-Shish. Good ball. It's a good header from Towler. It's a really good challenge. He wins. It's a bit comfortably done with the keeper, but if he hadn't been the size of the keeper there is, Schmidt, you'd think he might have been a little bit of struggle.
Yeah. Schmidt 6'5". He's got some force behind that. This is Murphy. Tried to lift it over from Patterson. You could see what he was trying to do, Murphy, but didn't get the purchase behind the ball.
I've got to say, it's brilliant from Bishop. Look at him, he bashes one out of the way. Lovely little glance, and he does really well, Murphy. Just trying to get the outside to flick it across to Callum Lang, I think. Just doesn't get enough on it. No doubt that Kobe Bishop's not being more of a pain than maybe most people would expect. Hence them 4 little opportunities in the box. He's got to keep plugging away, Portsmouth.
It's been a torrid afternoon so far for the Portsmouth goalkeeper, just continuing to make mistakes.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the first one is just, for the first goal, he gets himself in. He sees the run coming, rather than just drop off and make him beat him, which you have to do. He advances 5-6 yards, and it's just, he doesn't even need to touch the ball, just rolls it past him. Bishop again there, doing what he's done very well. Him and Paddy Lane that time.
Here the Portsmouth fans behind the goal to our left in the upper tier.
Well, it's a really fine effort to make the journey from Portsmouth up to Sunderland this day, and having across a little area where I happen to live up in Manchester area. There's a band of rain 2 or 3 feet deep this morning, so it'll be very difficult to have got there. Magnificent effort.
Lees gets there first and again. Slight wind around the Stadium of Light as well.
Good ball.
Picked up by pitch side microphones.
It's a good ball, that. Good switch of play. Get Murphy one-on-one with Trey Hume. Wasn't so long ago was playing for Linfield in the Irish League. He's done brilliantly well.
And Northern Ireland International, his 24th start of the season in the Championship today. Murphy into Bishop. And it's a corner to Portsmouth. Yeah. There is a threat there going forward for Portsmouth, Ian.
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about Kobe Bishop, the difference he makes. Luke O'Neill run into him there, and he just gets knocked to the floor. He's one of them old battering rams, but he's got good technical ability, he's good in the air, can finish with both feet. He's a handful.
Murphy's there if he wants to play the short option. Patterson once again, this time extends his left arm and clears the ball.
Yeah, again, job done for them. Good also poor switch of play. Tried to do it earlier, opportunity maybe on the counter-attack. Just interesting to watch from the corner. It's Elise marking Kobe Bishop. So that will be an interesting combat for sure.
Tidy passage of play, resulting in a throw-in for Portsmouth. 12-year absence from the second flight of football. They're back in there now and they want to remain there. Currently 21st in the division. If they lose by 2 or more goals today, Ian, they'll slip back into the relegation places below Hull on goal difference.
Yeah, I mean, he's not to pick on the keeper, but Schmidt's a couple of times gone wide to the sort of wide man. I don't. If you're going to do that and drill that long ball, which I think's fine, you've got to drop it into Kobe Bishop. You know, go to the big front man up there who's going to give a handful. It's probably going to knock around a Chris Repham or a Luke O'Neill particularly. Certainly for me, I'd get Bishop to pull on O'Neill.
Fortunate from Patterson. Not really finding their players at the moment, Sunderland. Giving the ball away cheaply. Bit of a lull at the moment in this game.
It's good though, because you know Portsmouth will drag Sunderland onto them to try and with the press, and then they'll have the opportunity maybe to play through them. Haven't done that a lot as yet, but they've tried to do this, but that's better, keeping it down the middle of the park and letting that time Ogilvie attack the ball, which he did very well.
Murphy gives it away. Can Sunderland make something of this? It's Al-Shish.
Definitely Sunderland very much in control, but I've got to say Portsmouth have posed more of the threat than I expected. Good run from Bellingham there. You know, that's got to be tracked. I've got to say, he can't run off a Potts or a Dazelle. He just runs off the back of it. It's not good enough that he just let that run go. He's too dangerous when you look at his goal return. For a young man of 19, there's certainly a lot more to come from that man, Joby Bellingham. Been very impressive thus far. Excellent
sliding in, yeah. Ricochets back out to Neil, and he finds O'Sheesh. He's got plenty of room to run into. Can he create something from this? At least on the overlap. He's ignored. O'Sheesh! And that was better from Nicholas Schmidt. He needed that for his confidence.
He did. By the way, it's a really good save. It's good. It's brilliant play from O'Sheesh. You know, he gets at Swanson, dips in one, then comes in, drop of the shoulder, it opens up. It's a brilliant strike. I've got to say, it's going right in the corner, and you know he's a big man, so it looks a comfortable save, but very impressive.
Ogilvie. And now O'Nien. That'll do him some good, won't it, Ian?
Yeah, it really will. Yeah.
It was going into the corner. Real well-struck effort.
Yeah, he drops his shoulder on Swanson and then bends it miles outside the post. It's going right in the bottom corner. Such a big man that Nicholas Schmidt is, and you know, not full of confidence, I suspect, that he makes a really good save, and that will do wonders for him. Just been a bit sloppy in possession there, Sunderland.
They've been like that in the first half.
What a ball.
It's Murphy, he's onside.
Oh, my word.
Bishop stopped, so did O'Nien. Sunderland clear.
I just don't understand why he doesn't take the attempt on target. I don't think Josh Murphy looks at the inside of the box. There's no one in it. It's a brilliant ball, great run. Wonderful from Marlon Pack, onside, brilliant ball. And look at this touch, but Kobe Bishop's not in the middle. So why play it there? You've got to take the attempt on target with his left side.
And
Brilliant ball.
And he's got 5 goals this season. You could sometimes say for a wide man he hasn't got the confidence to shoot, but he's shown that. He has got 5 goals, and he only scored just on New Year's Day against Swansea.
Yeah, should have taken it on. I think he just didn't look. You know, to be fair.
Mayenda, Isidore's there. Defended well by Ogilvie and Pack, and Swanson hacks it forward.
You know, Mayenda could do with some more goals in street, but I've got to say, whenever he gets on the ball, he's a real threat. Causes people. He's pacey. He's got skills. He's got the trick. He's decent deliveries. A lot to be liked about him at 19 years old. You know, three caps for Spain at under 17. Yeah, there's certainly something there. Just add to that goal tally, get up to 10 rather than being at 3, and he'll be a real player for me.
Scored 2 against Sheffield Wednesday in mid-August, and then added to that last time out against Swansea. 10 minutes to play in the first half. It's Sunderland who are leading from that Wilson Isidore goal after 7 minutes. Portsmouth are growing into this game, given away once again by their goalkeeper. And now this is Roberts. Can he capitalise? Onto Alshish. And Alshish with the effort, but always telegraphed and comfortable routine for Nicholas Schmidt.
Yeah, we don't want to get Alshish too often one-on-one with Swansea. You know, Alshish is difficult to deal with anyway. Just drops your shoulder. It's a bit too easy, actually. He should really block the shot. Doesn't put nowhere near enough power on it. It's a comfortable save. But again, it's poor. The way the keeper just gives the ball. It's 40-yard pass. It's not a difficult one. He's giving it straight to Sunderland. Don't think they think it's a foul. It clearly is by Neil. It is a foul.
Referee just having a word with the Sunderland captain.
Awkward area for a set piece like this. Sometimes you shift it wide and then change the angle.
Towler's the target.
There's Marlon Pack, was it? No.
Kobe Bishop here. No, Callum Lang. We got it right there eventually, didn't it?
I understand why he's taking it on now. The thing was, at the time, I thought, that's a bit weird.
This is the goal that separates the sides here.
Look at Marlon Pack. He should go with the run. He doesn't. Puts the hands up, tries for the offside. The keeper is in no man's land. If he's 10 yards deeper, he's got a real chance of saving it.
Yeah.
But brilliant finish. Yeah, got to say.
And a fine finish from Isidore. against Sheffield United, earned the points. That was a top-class winning goal. He's not managed to score 2 in a game as of yet for Sunderland. Still has plenty of time to rectify that stat. All of his goals have been single goals. It's now 8th for the season for the player on loan from Zenit St. Petersburg.
Fighting the grand score, just opportunity here.
It's Murphy, gets away from Neil. Murphy, not far away, decent effort, and he knows it. Slides down onto his knees in anguish, tore away from Neil, just curled it over the top.
Yeah, he's brilliant at this. I mean, it's a lovely little roll. Shrugs off Neil, and then they're just dropping off because they know he's got pace. He tries to curl it and bend it in, just not enough go. I thought he might have carried on driving for maybe 2 more steps. Even if he goes past Trey Hume there, Trey Hume goes to ground quite early, but there's no doubt that Murphy poses a real threat.
At least just got one on the calf, tangled legs with Lang.
Definitely foul. Looks like sleet's coming down in spades.
Bitterly cold day on Wearside. Every single spectator should be applauded for coming out this afternoon. It's Dazal. Now Swanson. Schmidt makes an option for him. Doesn't look to be comfortable today with his feet. Real hardy souls they are, aren't they, Portsmouth supporters?
Yeah, they've always travelled in their numbers.
600-mile round journey.
Oh, well, they've travelled in their numbers everywhere that you go. It is quite incredible, given what the traffic conditions are. Some of them have been set off last night, I bet.
Lang on to Lane, and now Swanson back to Lane. Bishop and Murphy inside the penalty area, joined by Lang. Did it fall to Bishop? It did. Trying to direct his header into the path of Murphy.
Clever though. I think certainly you can see if Cameron Lang gets on the ball in the middle, middle areas, or the head of that back four, is a real handful.
Good passage by Sunderland. Mayenda. And still, Mayenda's been brought down by Towler. Referee has a look, decides not to give the penalty. It's a goal kick.
I'm not sure, but I think he grabs his shirt. I'm not quite sure, but it does look a bit soft, I've got to say. But I'm thinking it must be Towler's worst nightmare when you've got Mayenda running there. He's coming at your pace, you know which way to go.
It's got a nice little shimmy. What do you think there?
No, maybe not enough for me. I think he does grab his shirt. Let's have a look. He does, but I don't think it's enough.
Mayenda should have been stronger.
Yeah, I think he should go on and try and strike the ball, but I mean, he does pull his... Yeah, it's just not enough. I'm not sure if it was at VAR, it would get overturned, that's for sure. He's doing what Kobe Bishop does, backing in. Brilliant play from Roberts, but although gives the ball away.
And it's Murphy.
Certainly an area I think they can, Patrick Roberts, very attack-minded players, so not going to do unbelievable defensive work all the time, so sort of leaves Trey Hume a little bit exposed at times. So that's an area you'd think that maybe John Messina would have a good look at, getting Murphy on the ball, again one-on-one against Trey Hume.
09 out to Alshish. Alice is in an advanced position. And now it's Mepham. He's enjoying his time here at Sunderland, on loan from Bournemouth.
Yeah, a little new defensive partner in Luke O'Neill rather than Daniel Ballard, who's got to say been outstanding and also gets goals. And to be fair to Dan, he's done really well for Northern Ireland. So every time he's played, he's equips himself excellently.
Starting to have an affinity with the local area. Chris Mepham, this is Neil. And Isidore! He wasn't to be stopped, but the flag's gone up. And if he's in front of goal today, Ian, it's only going to be one result. An emphatic finish, but he's offside.
It's a brilliant ball, by the way, I've got to say. I actually didn't think it was offside when I see it by eye, but it obviously was.
Let's take a look. Close eye on Isidore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good decision. It's a really good finish. I've got to say that.
But he's on form, isn't he?
Is.
You can see with that.
He is.
If he can see the goals, he's going to have an effort.
He is, but I was just thinking, it's that what I was talking about earlier. It's a bit easy, one pass through ball and you throw on goal. Really, you know, he's the only one up there. He should be tracked with someone. You know, that allowing that run to come off the back and in behind. It's good. It's really good play from Neil. Too easy, shrug off Potts. He's past him. Waiter passes are sensational, and Lovesley just lets it come to him. Takes a nice touch round and then finishes brilliantly. Just a fraction offside.
Swanson stopping Al-Shish, and Pack gets it in the direction of Lang, but won back by Sunderland. And their captain Neil. Al-Shish started to enjoy himself, seeing plenty of the ball. Neil trying to measure the ball into Mayenda.
Yeah, get it onto his right foot for the pass. Yeah, for Mayenda, or maybe he could have just stood the ball up for the back post, but again, lovely football. There's no doubt this Sunderland team can hurt Portsmouth, not at will, but you know, if they get enough ball into them midfield players, Bellingham in these areas with runners, certainly I think there's a lack of, you know, defensive structure, of resilience, if I'm honest. It's too easy to get into the Portsmouth box, and that's certainly not all Messino's fault for sure. But you know, when you've conceded that many goals away, it's worrying.
The form Isidore is in right now. Don't want to give him any more opportunities.
It's brilliant. It's just unlucky, you know. He lets it drop on his foot. It's clever. Oh no, again, trouble.
This time Isidore onto Mayanda, the flag stays down. Is this to be the second? He lashes it wide.
It's a really poor finish, but the movement of Mayenda's very clever, and he just runs off the back of Ogilvie. Ogilvie tries to go tight, he spins in behind him. Here you go, look. He runs, he doesn't get tracked either by Ogilvie or Towler. Between the two, it's a really good shot. He must hit the target. I've got to say, it's a really poor finish.
Relief from Messino and frustration from Lebris.
Well, big frustration. We talked about that. This young man's 19. I think there's an awful lot more to come to his game, and certainly just a bit more composure in front of goal. Good ball
by Murphy. Well dealt with by O'Nien, and now Hume gives it straight back to Murphy. We're in stoppage time, 2 minutes of added on time, and it's a goal kick for Sunderland. Going back to Mayenda, Ian, he's got a couple at the beginning of the season, and then he's missed some chances since then, and scored the first goal on New Year's Day evening against Sheffield United. Took that well, but he almost gone back to basics there. He should have made the goalkeeper work.
Indeed, and you know, there's no doubt he's got real, and why he's, listen, he will develop at his age. I suggest that is something he really needs to work on. That's something, it's a basic throw on goal. You do it maybe 5 times a week, you know, on the going through balls and finishing. He's just got to, he really is unbalanced. It doesn't look like he's comfortable on his right foot.
Referee spotted a handball. Callum Lang disagrees.
Something they need to do more is get Callum Lang on the ball.
combinations of Lang and Murphy. Murphy's offered a threat as well. Colby Bishop, when he's had his chances, he's held the ball up well.
And
Signs to be positive for,
I agree.
for John Mousinho as the whistle blows for half-time.
I agree 100% with that. There's definitely signs to be positive. What I do have a concern about is the sort of naivety of the defending. Far too easy to get front to back. So back to front very simply from through balls through that midfield. Not quite strong enough in there.
So Wilson Isidore's goal separates the two sides. It's been a tough 45 minutes for the Portsmouth goalkeeper Nicholas Schmidt as the players head into the safety of the changing rooms. A half